History 10. Tutankhamun's Hidden Truth. In the early 1920s, in the dry and silent desert of Egypt, a discovery was about to capture the imagination of the entire world. Deep in the Valley of the Kings, a burial ground used by pharaohs of the New Kingdom, a team led by British archaeologist Howard Carter searched for something many believed no longer existed, a royal tomb untouched by time. After years of effort, on a quiet day in November 1922, workers uncovered stone steps hidden beneath the sand. These steps led to a sealed doorway bearing royal seals of the 18th dynasty, and behind it lay one of the greatest treasures in history, waiting in darkness for over 3,000 years. When Carter finally made a small opening in the door and looked inside, he saw a sight that would become legendary. With a candle in hand, he peered into the chamber filled with golden objects, statues, chariots, and ceremonial furniture carefully arranged around the burial space. When asked what he could see, he replied softly, "I see wonderful things." This moment marked the beginning of a global fascination with the young pharaoh Tutankhamun, a ruler from ancient Egypt's 18th dynasty who had died at a very young age. Modern scientific studies using CT scans and DNA analysis later suggested that he may have suffered from genetic conditions, malaria, and physical injuries, offering a clearer picture of his short and fragile life. As news of the discovery spread, the world entered a period often called Egyptomania. Newspapers, radios, and magazines shared every detail of the excavation, turning it into a global sensation. People became fascinated with ancient Egypt, its gods, its burial rituals, and especially its beliefs about the afterlife. At the same time, the modern world was still recovering from World War I, and many people were drawn to stories that mixed history with mystery and the supernatural. The tomb of Tutankhamun became more than just an archaeological find. It became a symbol of ancient power, hidden knowledge, and the secrets of a lost civilization. Then, just a few months after the tomb was opened, something unexpected happened. George Herbert, 5th Earl of Carnarvon, the wealthy man who had funded the excavation, suddenly fell ill and died in April 1923. The cause was a bacterial infection known as septicemia, triggered by a mosquito bite that became infected. Yet the timing of his death shocked the public. Almost immediately, newspapers began to suggest that his death was not natural. They claimed it was the result of an ancient curse placed upon the tomb to protect it from intruders, even though no such curse had ever been found written inside the tomb. From that moment, the story took on a life of its own. Journalists competed to create the most dramatic and frightening versions of the curse, often exaggerating or inventing details. Some claimed there were warnings carved into the walls, while others linked unrelated deaths to the supposed curse. In reality, archaeological records show that most people involved in the excavation lived long lives. The line between fact and fiction slowly disappeared, replaced by a powerful and exciting legend fueled by media competition and the human desire for mystery. Despite the growing fear and mystery, Howard Carter himself continued his work with calm determination. He applied careful scientific methods, documenting every artifact, preserving fragile materials, and recording the layout of the tomb in detail. He lived until 1939, many years after the discovery, proving that no supernatural force was targeting those who entered the tomb. Scientists later studied the environment of sealed tombs and suggested that bacteria or fungal spores could exist in such spaces, but no consistent evidence linked them to the deaths associated with the excavation. However, the idea of the curse remained strong in popular culture. Books, films, and stories turned Tutankhamun into a symbol of ancient revenge and hidden danger. The image of a sealed tomb, filled with treasures and protected by unseen forces, became one of the most powerful symbols in modern storytelling. The golden funerary mask of the young pharaoh became world-famous, representing both the artistic brilliance of ancient Egypt and the mystery that surrounded its burial traditions. Today, the story of Tutankhamun's curse teaches us an important lesson. It shows how easily human imagination, fear, and storytelling can transform simple events into powerful myths. While the tomb itself remains one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in history, the curse was never real. It was created by coincidence, media exaggeration, and the human love for mystery. In the end, the true story is not about a supernatural curse, but about how science, history, and storytelling come together to shape the way we understand the past.